Jack Sikma, go for it. Here we go. Game 3. Gus right away to the hoop. In and out. Rebound, Mitchell. Johnny Moore, 0-0. George Gervin. Short with that. Sikma with a rebound outlet quickly to Gus. I don't know why, but the floor seems shorter here as Gus lays it up and under. Doesn't it just look a little shorter as you're sitting here?
Well, I'm certain that it's the background. In the Kingdom, it's out there about 8 miles.
Yeah, the vastness, that's true. 2-0 Sonics. Oberding, 19 feet away. Jack with his second rebound. Gus says, let me have it. Missed it. Jack in, trying to get the rebound. And Mitchell got it instead.
You can expect 2 things tonight. Number 1, George Gervin is going to get the ball early and try to dominate this game from the get-go. And Gus Williams is going to get it in the open court, and that puts the pressure on the guy shooting right there, Johnny Moore, who's just played very, very well, averaging 11 assists in those 2 games in Seattle with a 14 on Wednesday night.
Lonnie's going to definitely make him earn the 2 points as he stepped in his way. Tough for Lonnie to get a foul. And the players are being instructed where the score is. Hard to believe in the playoffs at the electrical part, but a lot of things going wrong in San Antonio today. Our hotel had no water all day long. And there's some strange stories about people shaving and taking baths from melted ice cubes.
Hey, you can mess with the scoreboard, but please don't take my shower away. And that was the case today. Boy, that was irritating.
Don't take the water.
Not many people close to us tonight.
Yeah. Well, I walked over here and got into the locker room about 2 hours ahead of the game, grabbed a shower there. Oberding rebound, doesn't get the bucket. Jack with his 3rd rebound. 2-1, Sonics lead. Hanslick. Lonnie over Oberding. Lonnie from 17 feet away. He can stand there and shoot them all night. And we got a 4-1 game. Crowd's starting to realize that the scoreboard doesn't work, and they're showing it to him up top. Mitchell left side. No.
That's just his shot. He throws it up about 20 feet in the air. It looks like it's going to be short, but somehow it just crawls over. And the added thing is, if it does hit the rim, it just dies with all that altitude.
4-3. Sonics by 1. Lonnie on the left side to Jack. He's working on George Johnson. He's going to shoot it. He's got it. Jack with his curly locks splashes down the floor, and we got a 6-3 ball game. Sonics coming right out in this one. They've got to do that. San Antonio can put the points up. Gervin off balance, in and out. Got fouled by Hanslick. Billy picks up his first personal. I think George is going to go to the line. Oh, they call on Wally?
Wally inside. There was no foul outside. Billy's done a good job of staying out of foul trouble. Of course, the San Antonio papers are full of George Gervin complaining that the officials aren't giving him any calls.
Foul is on Wally. Mitchell with the jumper off the heel. Lonnie. I was watching the man with the ball, and he was guarded by Hanslick, and the whistle blew, and Hans looked guilty, but it was on Wally. Here's Jack. Wally can't get the bucket in, but does get fouled, and the call comes against Mike Mitchell. First personal on Mitchell.
The problems that occur when that 2-man game is working, and there Gus and Jack combine to get the ball inside to Wally Walker.
Wally shot 67% from the line on the year. And he misses a pair early. Still a 6-3 ball game. Moore looking for Mitchell or Gervin, the 2 shooters. Hanslick knocked it away. And it'll be San Antonio ball. Oberding will bring it in.
Right now, Seattle very alert in those passing lanes and very heads up away from the ball.
Moore misses. Wale tips the rebound, gets it away. Up the sidelines to Gus. Sees men in front of him. Hanslick all alone. Goaltending.
Not only are they alert at the defensive end, but once they get down in their break, they're finding the open men very, very quickly. Nice pass by Gus to Billy inside.
8-3. Don't forget Sunday's game at 12:30 on Channel 7. Gervin Missed it. Jack had the rebound. They lost it. Gervin gets a second try, now a third try, and it goes in. If you can't stop Gervin on one try, you know he's going to make the hoop. He had 3 tries, and he got the third one. Hanslick goes to the floor. Wally in underneath, gets hammered. Lonnie gets the ball back. Billy's going to try an 11-footer. Can't get it. Wally tips it in the air, and Moore comes away with it. Mitchell looked like he traveled into Jack. Four straight points for San Antonio. It's 8-7 Seattle. Johnson and Sigma, a lot of pushing, a lot of shoving, and a foul on Johnson, I believe. It is on George from behind. Yeah, just as we saw it, George was actually giving Jack a big shove in the back, and that's what Jake O'Donnell showed. First personal foul on George Johnson.
Jack has most certainly been a dominant player for Seattle in the 5 playoff games. He's averaging 22 points a game.
Lonnie went around spinning, missed it. Mitchell with a rebound to Moore to Overding. Pulls up and shoots. Gus gets the rebound away from Jack. "19-footer, Jack Sigma. Jack with 4, and the Sonics lead by 3. 7:38 to go. First quarter, San Antonio. Game 3, it's all tied at 1 apiece.
It looks like he just gives up as he gets his 4th point because he thinks a foul's going to be called, and somehow he knocks that 15-footer in. He got bumped pretty good there, too.
Playing, where was he? The amateurs at Pontiac, Michigan when he was spotted. Lonnie to the hoop's going to get fouled on the way in. From the look on Mark Overding's face, he gets the call. That's what it is.
Well, Seattle cleared the side, and Mark Overding's got a tough matchup there to try to guard Lonnie going to the hoop.
Shot no good. San Antonio with the ball. 10-9, Sonics by 1. Sonics giving San Antonio only 1 shot. Here's Jack again. Knew he had it, started backing away.
He has his range, hits 6 points. Right now, San Antonio not hustling back in that transition defense.
They are playing a little calm here at home, I think. Thinking that they've got things made on their home court.
That's always a possibility, letting down at the home court because you think that it's just going to be routine.
Stan Albeck's going to call a timeout as Bill Hanslick gets the foul call against him.
Very few shots for Seattle in their half-court offense.
All right, San Antonio will have it in bounds. Team fouls, 3 on each. Moore, Gervin along the line, 9-footer in. It goes. Gervin was 6. Moore outside. Jack comes out, plays the point. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Cross to Hanslick. Looked like he going to took the shot, traveling on Hanslick. Traveling call on Bill Hanslick, and the Sonics turn it over, and San Antonio comes down with a chance to go ahead for the first time in the game. Mitchell gets fouled by Wally. Wally says to Jake O'Donnell, he said, "What did I do?" And Jake tells him. Wally says, "I don't believe it." It's the second personal on Wally. Take another look.
Well, Mike got good position there. And Wally did come down with that left hand once the shot was gone.
So Mitchell will go to the line. During the regular season, he hit 73%. Now, he averaged 20 points a game. In the playoffs, he's averaging 26, picking up a little slack for Gervin, who's 5 under his average. Mitchell ties it at 12 points.
Stan Albeck has had some very nice things to say about Mitchell since coming over from Cleveland. Mitchell didn't have the best of reputations there with the Cavaliers.
San Antonio ahead 13-12. Bounce pass to Jack. No basket, had it gone in. Foul called against George Johnson, again banging into the back of Jack Sikma. That's the second personal on Johnson and the 4th team foul. So the Sonics will go to the line after one more. Gus along the lane to Jack, protected from Johnson, makes the move to the hoop. Johnson got Jack on the hands. That's what he was complaining about as Moore catches the pass.
Well, that's what Seattle can't allow to happen, because then the crowd gets going, and boy, do the juices start to flow.
Gus with a fall-away 16-footer. He's got it. The whiz from the left side. 15-14. Here's Moore again.
Billy Hanslick thought better of getting in front of Olberding. Wise choice.
Gervin the fall-away. No. Lonnie with the rebound. Wisely hangs on till he finds Gus at half court. The whiz to the hoop. It's not gonna go, and it would have counted. Foul is called against Johnny Moore, his first of the ball game, and that's over the limit. And the Sonics' Gus Williams will go to the line.
Gus has been having some problems from the foul line, shooting but 63%, 19 of 30.
During the regular season, he shot 73%. Now he's on target. And the Sonics are tied up at 15. Gus can put them back in the lead.
Quick observation early in this first quarter is that Seattle doing a good job, and here we see the first time that they're going to clamp a little full court action onto San Antonio. Seattle doing a good job of offensively getting it in the hands of Gus Williams.
And they lost it. Oberding lost it, and Hanslick to Gus. What will he do? 8-footer. Missed it. Tipped in beautifully by Wally Walker. That'll make Wally feel good. He had a couple of mistakes early, and the Sonics jump up again by 3.
Les Haberger said they were going to make judicious use of that full court, so they'll put it on and put it off at unexpected times.
Gervin, Mitchell with Wally all over him. In and out, tipped out of bounds, and they're going to call white. No, they're calling Sonic ball. I was trying to read lips from John Vanek about 40, 50 feet away. I thought he said white ball, which would have been San Antonio in their white and black uniforms. Gus, 21-footer. No. Moore works left.
Boy, Seattle really banging hard in those passing lanes. That's a walk. The same thing Hanslick did down at the other end. Jake O'Donnell, the same official that called it a moment ago, consistent on that one, calls it.
You saw it in vaudeville years ago. It's called a soft shoe. You can't shuffle your feet that many times. There's Stan Albeck, the coach. John Anderson, the trainer of San Antonio Spurs. Wally Walker goes to Lonnie, and what happened there? Lonnie backing into Oberding.
Lonnie was clearing the right arm of Mark Oberding, and Mark took his hand away, and Lonnie continued up into the right jaw of Oberding, and that's a foul. That's Lonnie's second.
One more, and the Spurs will go to the line to shoot. 3:37 remaining in the first quarter, and the Sonics still holding a 3-point lead. Moore. Gervin working Hanslick, going to the hoop. 4 men in front of him. He missed it. Lonnie got the rebound. Bad play. Traveling. Oberding. Yes. Half court. Excellent call by Jake O'Donnell to be wide awake, watching the man there rather than the pass going the other way.
Well, I tell you, both of these officials are very good, so we would expect not too many calls to miss their eyes.
Oberding caught the ball and backed up 3 steps before he did anything with it. Hanslick, at the shot of a career, gives it to Jack. Jack gets the bucket and gets fouled. Great team play by Hanslick, but truthfully, he had an easy shot. The foul against Gervin.
Well, that comes from the condition that Billy gives up his shots and his offense in deference to those other players, and it was a nice pass, but normally you like to see a guy leave his feet inside to shoot and not pass.
Sonics will have their biggest lead if Jack cans this foul shot. 6 points. 21-15, Sonics on top.
Full court press again. They stole the ball last time.
Jack has 9 now. Gervin, Hanslick's all over him. He went by him that time and laid it in. Gervin now with 8 points.
Delay of game as George Gervin tapped the ball away from Hanslick when he was trying to bring the ball in. The trouble with snugging up to George Gervin that far away,
He can go right by you.
and one step he clears you, and now he's causing problems inside, and that time he did.
21-17. Wally. The 9-footer, he's got it. Wally breaking out of a little slump tonight. He's got 4. And you need that offense from him because they know Lonnie's going to fire, and Jack and Gus, you can get some scoring from Wally and a little from Hanslick. Oh, Overdink and Lonnie just banging each other. And I think Lonnie's going to get a call here, and Overdink just backed into him and slammed him. It's going to be a foul on, well, wait a minute.
Billy Hanslick away from the
board, 2:22 to go.
Pressure on Bill when George has the ball. And a good way to defend against a great scorer like Gervin is to keep the ball from his hands. And when you do that, you try to maintain position of staying between the ball and George. And to do that, sometimes you have to handle him. And, of course, Billy, one of the best at keeping his hands on opponents.
Gervin gets 1 out of 2 for his 9th point, and it's 23-18. Sonics still by 5. Pretty good first quarter for them. In fact, one of their best of the playoffs. Defensively and offensively. Hanslick shooting. Missed it. Billy taking a couple of shots that he well deserves, and now hasn't been able to hit. Overdink traveled. He slipped. It looked like he caught his foot running across the middle, and that's what, the 3rd traveling violation on him tonight.
That's right.
Like he might have stepped in a little water of some kind. Take another look right here. See, he goes and he just doesn't quite have that foot out. Lonnie. Overdink playing way off Lonnie. He'll shoot it if he stays back that far. Jack on Johnson. Nope. Wally over Mitchell, no call. Crowd thought Wally fouled. Mitchell. Mike has 8 points, averaged 20 during the regular season, but is averaging 26 per game in the first 2 playoff games. 4th game Sunday here. We'll show it to you on Channel 7 at 12:30. CBS will have it. They mismatched and let Gus get away.
Well, that's the very tough 2-man game, and they covered it up a couple of times tonight, but that time they just didn't communicate, and Gus went in wide open.
25-20, Sonics by 5. Overding will work on Walker. Did he travel again, or is there a foul called? Must be a foul. Yep, James Donaldson in front of us. Foul called on Wally. Will be his 3rd personal foul on Wally Walker. And James Donaldson comes in for Lonnie. Might be that we see JJ very quickly for Wally, and as I say it, John walks right in front of us. Wally doesn't even want to look to the bench. He knows he's going out. 3 fouls on Wally. So John Johnson's in with James Donaldson. And Mark Overding at the line. Shoots him up at 81% from the foul line. Now 25-21. Shelton goes to the bench with only 2 points. Walker goes out with 4. 3 points Seattle lead. Now a little full court pressure from the Spurs. Bad pass. Hanslick, but he threw it away to Gus. 12-footer. He's got it. There's a fine play by the Wiz. Ostensibly San Antonio had thrown it away, and Gus broke it back up.
Well, we might see some more full court action by San Antonio.
3-on-2. Sonics. See which way Gus goes. Hanslick to the hoop. Reverse. Nice play by Billy.
Very difficult shot. If Mark Overding was getting set to take Billy's head off, he just ducked under it. Still had the strength to reverse it. Nice job.
You wouldn't think that he had enough stride left to get under the hoop like that, and he did. Nice play. Overding. Instead of quieting the crowd in Seattle, he excites them back with that one. 6 seconds to go. Hanslick lost it under his own bucket. Moore's going to shoot it from half court. It's going to be on the top of the backboard. It will not go. Okay, across the front. No change. Yeah, Corzine is in now for Overding. And also in Gene Banks, number 20, who shoots, missed. Jack hammered underneath, loses the ball. Mitchell lays it in. Jack got just pulverized when he tried to reach for that ball, and Mitchell was right there and took the carom and laid it in. And it's 29-26, Sonics by 3. Jack shot it after he was fouled, had no angle on it, just shot an air ball, but the foul comes against Mike Mitchell. That's his second, if I remember.
Big mismatch here. Seattle wastes no time to get it inside to Jack. He drops steps to the baseline side. Of course, Mike Mitchell has very little options there. He picks up his second foul. Mark Overding checks very quickly back in.
Jack 1 for 2 from the line, and Mitchell will go to the bench.
The other night, we saw Johnny Johnson, Fred Brown, and Gus Williams along that backcourt. I really consider Johnny Johnson a guard in this lineup. And that when he brings the ball up on that fast break, he really frees Gus and Fred up to find an opening, and they can really do some damage then because Johnny will hit them the ball when they're open.
Very valuable. Here's that full court pressure again. They're going to double team the man with the ball. Jack most Overding, pass underneath, layup good. Nice play as they found Gervin. That's the thing you're going to do every now and then. You'll give up one of those, and Gervin now has 11.
Well, there's San Antonio keeping George back so that when they do break the press, they have George Gervin go on one-on-one to the hoop.
Donaldson going to shoot the left-hander. Got it. Nice shot by James.
An important shot indeed, as that's his first off the bench.
Still 5-point Sonic advantage, 33-28, 10:47 to go in the half. We'll check the news at halftime. Special feature for you. And Jimmy Marsh is going to have an interview with Zolly Balchuk, and Jack Sikma is called for a foul, and I've got to see it again. I really, really have to see that one more time if we have it. Jack is just furious with John Vanek. He doesn't know anything what he did. Take a look.
Well, Jack doesn't argue very often. He doesn't worry about it because he's going to get his but that is clearly...
He was on the ball.
Yeah.
Gervin misses one, but it still adds up to Jack's first personal foul.
He knows he's going to foul sometimes because he gives out a lot of punishment inside, but he takes a lot. He doesn't say one word. And when he argues that vehemently, generally, it's for good cause.
Yep. Well, the replay showed he was on the ball that time. Brown double team. Threw it to JJ, couldn't get it to him. And the Sonics forced to turn it over, and a very unlikely man does that, Fred Brown. Banks goes the baseline. Out to Overding. Gervin lost it. Gets it back. That's more. To the hoop. Traveling. Now Moore's up. He says he got pushed. Stan Albeck says he got pushed. There's Moore. You can look at the look on his face. He's not happy.
Let's see what happened here. 1, 2. Yeah, he walked. He did get tripped, but he did walk, and then it's just a judgment call of did he trip first or walk first. Well,
Sonics back down with it with a 4-point advantage. JJ off the lip. 3 white shirts underneath. Probably not the spot for that. Overding. Oh, I thought he traveled again. He saved himself into the bucket.
Great play as he reached way behind him to save that pass. 8 points for Overding.
Now 33-31. Reverse by downtown. Nice play again. They had him on the right side of the bucket. He went under. They couldn't get him. Banks, tip. Jack with the rebound. Gets it stripped.
And that's what JJ will do with Gus and Fred on the flanks. They can just find an open spot and he'll get them the ball.
Better, exactly what you said. He opened up both those players to freelance, and JJ got it. 9 minutes left in the half. Corzine. Jack with a sky-high rebound. Big rebounding game for Jack. JJ again handling the ball. Let's Gus go. Underneath, Brown over Gervin. Got it! Great passing by John Johnson. And the Sonics have their biggest lead of the night, 8 points. 39-31. Timeout San Antonio. And the crowd is quiet as Moore and Brown talk at half court about something, and Stan Albeck says, well,
that brings their game total up to 58%, 17 of 29. San Antonio still shooting 12 for 30, around 39%.
Mike Bratt's into the game with Gervin, Oberding, Corzine, and Banks. Here's Bratz. Gervin, no, and big James Donaldson with a rebound to Gus. Cross court to J.J. He never looked that way. One of the great classic look-away passes. And the Sonics lead by 10.
Well, there's no mystery. Seattle is really strapping it on at the defensive end.
Gus kicks it away.
You can't do that, though. They've laced their shoes up very tight tonight and are really taking it to the Spurs right now at the defensive end, and that's where you get those fast breaks. They clear that ball very quickly and get down court where they have had numbers most of the night.
Phil Smith will come in, and I'm sure it's for Gus to give him a few minutes rest. Pratt shoots, doesn't make it. Look at Donaldson towering for the rebounds. Now Gus will move it, sees Fred Brown. Goes to downtown, he'll bring it out, set it up. Plenty of time on the clock. 7:45 to go in the half. Gus to the hoop. Gets his own rebound. Nobody moved toward it. And the Sonics are up by 12. Gus with 12. Banks to the hoop. To Bratz. Off to Mitchell. Two-man tie-up, jump ball. Lonnie Shelton and Mike Mitchell.
Bill Smith checks in for Gus Williams. Gus Williams leaves with 12 points.
Here's the jump. Fred Brown's right there. Smith on the left side. To JJ. Tapped out of bounds by Bratz. It'll be Smith to bring it in.
Bratz is not shooting very well for San Antonio, and at the defensive end, they're certainly trying to exploit his size differential now with Phil Smith.
Overplaying Smith. He's going to get some fouls as Phil hits a bucket, and he gets his first two of the night, and the Sonics have a 14-point advantage. San Antonio, I don't believe, has scored in the last 12 points. Gervin, just as I say it, he hits. Gervin has 14. Bounce pass to Lonnie by JJ. Incredible.
What a pass.
Well, I tell you, everything the Sonics are trying is working. It doesn't matter what it is. That shoot it from half court and hit.
That pass had to be low and it had to be on the ground, and it was both, and it was a basket.
Gervin the bucket, gets the bucket, and gets fouled by Lonnie.
Well, George really trying to exploit things now. He's taken the ball twice now very quickly to the basket, and Fred turning him over to Lonnie Shelton. Lonnie left his feet, and that's where the foul occurs, and that's 3 on Lonnie.
So Gervin gets the field goal. It's 47-35, and he'll try to make it a three-point excursion to that end of the floor. He missed it. Donaldson's right there. Gervin tonight from the line has missed 1, 2, 3 foul shots. He's 2 out of 5 from the line.
Come on! Come on!
JJ and Fred Brown mishandle it. So they turn it over. Jack Sigma back in as Lonnie goes to the bench.
One of the few times tonight Seattle has turned the ball over without a shot.
5:49 first half. Banks to Mitchell. Three-pointer, Mike Bratz. Jack gets it after it almost got tipped in accidentally. Boy, I'll tell you, that basketball went down below the hoop and bounced back out. Downtown, Sonics are absolutely as hot as they've been in a half this year. Not point-wise, but the things they're doing are working. They're up by 14. Gervin. Brown with a big rebound. Goes half court to JJ. Gets fouled by Banks, but no call. JJ between his legs, behind his back. I expect one of those down the lanes passes any second. Up, tipped away by San Antonio. It'll go out of play. It'll be Sonics ball. Overdink back in, and also into the ball game is Roger Fegley, the Bradley graduate of 4 years ago. Banks will go to the bench, and so will Gervin get a rest before halftime.
Gervin looks a little perplexed at that substitution.
Yeah, he does. Smith, three-pointer, won it off the lip. He had to get it off before the clock rang, and the Sonics save it, and they got a new 24 clock.
Well, things are going right.
Oh, everything.
They continue to go right when that happens.
Everything is going right. Donaldson against Corzine. James gets it, lays it up. It's not going to go, but he gets fouled. Corzine got on him.
Foul's on Fegley.
It is, you're right. Fegley was inside, Corzine outside, and Fegley's the one that smacked him. First foul on Roger Fegley, and James Donaldson at the line. There's Roger, another handsome San Antonio Spur.
Well, Seattle has certainly kept that defensive pressure and emotion up from the other night. They've showed no tendency to let up. And again, all the energy that Seattle brings to this basketball game is the only energy that's going to be going to Seattle's side, with the crowd solidly, obviously, in San Antonio's favor.
Donaldson puts the Sonics at 50 and a 15-point lead, which is their biggest of the night. And Bratz goes out of the ball game as Moore comes back in.
With but 4:26 left in the half, San Antonio must try to get this lead down to under 10 before halftime, and Seattle, for their part, must try to keep that and even expand. And right now they're on kind of a roll.
Oh, they are. Everything they're doing is working right now as they lead by 16, 51-35. Sonics have definitely come to play this one. That's Moore. Fegley fakes the three-pointer. Two-pointer shot, missed it. And somebody underneath fouled somebody. I think Donaldson got a piece of Overdink.
Seattle doing a great job of, when San Antonio guards, except for Gervin, pick the ball up. Fegley, Moore, whoever it is, they're dropping way back inside, and those guards not yet are hitting that shot.
Corzine, four-footer high off the glass, tipped out to Fred Brown. He's got a 2-on-1 with JJ. See if they let him play. They go to Smith, 19-footer. Yes, everything is going down. Oh, take this game and make a training film out of it. I love it. 53-35. Corzine. San Antonio really discombobbled at the moment. They got a strange lineup. And they got a 3-second violation on San Antonio. The crowd is shocked. They don't know what's wrong.
Stan Albuck is beside himself, and I know that feeling as a coach. What in the world do you do? He's tried substituting players that haven't played much this series, and nothing's responding right now.
JJ to Brown behind his back. 8 seconds on the clock. To Smith. Look out, 2 men down. Stolen by San Antonio. They're going to throw it to Moore. I don't think he'll catch up with it. Saves it to Phil Smith. And Moore is in the crowd. Watching him get up slow. Sonics have it 4-on-5. Downtown Brown.
Oh, my goodness. Woo.
Half lead. The Supersonics are tagging San Antonio.
There's no sense taking a timeout. Stan Albuck hasn't made any motion to do that.
Corzine on Donaldson, no. And Jack and Corzine roughing each other up. It goes the other way as Corzine loses it off his body out of bounds. And I think San Antonio is going to call a timeout, or Seattle's going to call it. What happens for the last 2:45 of this half? The Sonics want to add on. San Antonio wants to cut it by any margin they can. Gus left side on Moore.
He's changed his pivot feet about 3 times.
He did at that. Gus going to take it, 20-footer off the heel, and Overding and Gervin tie up. They look at each other like, what are you battling me for?
Well, right now the crowd's going to cheer anything San Antonio does because they haven't done much.
Corzine tried to go up, got held down by JJ. Foul will be on John Johnson. Tonight at 9 o'clock, JR uses Miss Ellie in an attempt to kidnap his son on Dallas. And at 10 o'clock, it's Nurse, a talk show host, becomes the menace of Grant Memorial Hospital, and a real challenge for Nurse Mary Benjamin. It begins at 9 o'clock tonight, right here on Cairo TV.
You can't be tentative. Seattle standing around a little bit on that rebound. A couple of guys in there have a couple fouls. James Donaldson and Jack Sigma, so neither one of them want to pick up their third, but you have to keep going with the fervor that they've had since the opening gun.
6 points in this quarter for San Antonio. Corzine even missed the first foul shot. 6 points. The Sonics with 31.
Grange checked in for Donaldson, so he and Johnson are at the forwards, along with Sigma at the post.
Sonics can take their time, protect the ball. 2:05 to go in the half. Jack's going to shoot it. Missed it badly. Brains there for a great layup. Lou right off the bench. Oberding, 16-footer, got it. 57-38. Sonics still by 19. Oberding on the night has 10. Gervin, their leader, with 16. JJ working at the foul line. Missed it. Moore with the rebound. 1:30 to go in the half. Oberding again. Tipped up. Jack had it. Jack may have gotten fouled. I think he did by Corzine. That's the call.
Corzine gets a priceless look when he thinks something's gone wrong from the official side. We saw him the other night skid across the floor and come up with just a look that has to be put on film.
Only 4 team fouls on either club with now 1:14 to go. We're in the final 2 minutes of this first half. Phil Smith, 5-footer, he gets it. Nice play. As the Sonics go up now by 21. That's their biggest margin. Moore dancing, looking for help. Everybody standing around. Corzine works baseline for a 9-footer and hits it.
Well, he's certainly not the Spur that's got to be shooting out there. Seattle very fortunate that he's shooting on the move, but that time he knocked it in. He has 6 points.
46 seconds to go in the first half, and San Antonio better take the full halftime to figure this one out. Sigma on the move to the bucket. 9-footer, never got it there. He got flat-footed, and Corzine did a nice job of holding him down. Pass to Corzine into Smith, and Smith fouls him. Had to do it. Corzine would have had a short 2, and Phil could afford it.
I'm not sure if it's even a great play on the big man's part, although he did have position, because Phil appeared to have a little bit of a position there. Had Phil stopped, that might have gone the other way.
Corzine, a 75% shooter on the regular season. Gets a point. That's 41. 12 points in the quarter for San Antonio. The Sonics with 35 points.
They get the ball back, there'll be 27 seconds, so they have to make sure that they take the last shot. That is Seattle.
(59-41), 18-point Sonic lead. Gus just slow playing it at half court. 19 seconds to go. The shot clock and the quarter clock differ only by 3 seconds. So they'll take one with a couple seconds to go. Now Gus going to take it now. So that'll give the Spurs now 6 seconds to work with it. Gervin the length of the court, missed it. No basket, and it's halftime. No basket by Gervin as he comes down floor and can't get it to go. And Jimmy, the Supersonics, I think, with one of the best halves of basketball, not only.
Fans to salute an all-time All-Star making his final appearance in the midseason gathering. John Havlicek had announced he would retire at season's end. Over his 16-year career with the Celtics, Hondo had been an All-Star 13 times. His record spoke for itself. Bill Walton faced Dave Cowens at the opening tap, and the East had a surprise up their sleeve. They got the tap. The Iceman, George Gervin, got it, but they decided the first shot would go to John Havlicek in honor of his farewell season. Okay, guys, there's John up in the corner. Get him the ball. All right, come on, John. Hondo missed. Come on, John, this is history. That's better. Then Hondo began to hit with style as he traded baskets back and forth with another pretty fair veteran named Rick Barry. What a shoot-off. Havlicek against Barry. How good can it get? Unbelievably good at an NBA All-Star game. Can't get any better. Barry was just as tough on defense. His steal here upset East coach Billy Cunningham and set up a lovely assist by Rick Barry for another West score. The West opened their lead to 9 and a big stuff shot by a healthy Bill Walton. Walton, healthy, was really something to see. At the half, it was West 66, East 57. But then Randy Smith went to work with all his tools. Randy Smith couldn't miss. With the East short of funds, everything Randy Smith touched turned to gold. The East was alive again, and Randy was making them rich. Rick Barry tried to stem the Eastern tide, but Dave Cowens came up with the ball and tossed a touchdown pass to who else but Randy Smith. Ever had a day when it all goes right? Ever know that feeling? Randy Smith knew that feeling. Julius Erving found Randy open, and now the East was just 1 point down. Time to take the lead. Randy to Dr. J, but he can't get the shot off. That's right, you guessed it. Randy Smith. Randy Smith got the lead for the East, and moments later, they dedicated their victory to 13-time Eastern All-Star John Havlicek. The MVP? You know it. This was the day that Mr. Smith took Atlanta and captured the West as well. A big day for Randy Smith and the NBA.
Said of his entrance into the game was the fact that he does get the ball up very quickly, Wayne.
Here we go, third quarter. Same starting lineup for both clubs. You've got to know San Antonio's a little desperate. They're going to do everything they can, and they get a three-point opportunity right from the go as Gervin gets the bucket and fouled by Bill Hanslick at the same time. Take a look.
Gervin was 7 of 16 in that first quarter, or in that first half. And you can bet that they're going to get the ball in the hands of number 44 a lot this second half. As this now is a 14-point game, and certainly San Antonio very much in the thick of it.
Now the crowd will get into it. The lob is batted away by Oberding. Gervin off to the left. Oberding. 5 straight points for San Antonio. The Sonics have to guard against this, and Lenny takes an immediate timeout with only, 33 seconds gone off that clock. Down, we're back underway. Lonnie with it on the point, left side. Sukka's going to move on Johnson. Tries to shovel it along the baseline, and instead, the Sonics turn it over.
That's Jack's second foul. Johnny Moore did a very smart thing as Gus made his cut through the basket. Johnny just stood there, and that left Jack Sikma with nowhere to go. The baseline or Johnny Moore, and he crashed into Moore, and that's a foul.
Moore did a nice acting job, too. Mitchell over Wally. Wally got a hand on it. Still tipped in by Gervin. 7 straight San Antonio points.
Well, Seattle has yet to score. Fact is, they haven't taken a shot.
They got to recapture that magic they had in the first half. Here's Gus with a 19-footer. He's light. Rebound goes to Wally. Battles it away. Nice play. And Gus will bring it out and set it up.
Big hoop. They have to score. That'll settle their mind down a little bit from getting outscored here by 9 points, by 7 points.
Sonics led at one time by 21. And defense is just what San Antonio's playing now. Jack around Johnson, says he got fouled. Jump ball. No call. Oberdink's going to get away with it. Well, nine straight San Antonio points. Timeout, Lenny, one more time. Now Lenny has that look of desperation. What are we doing? What's
Effectively, they moved the ball around a little bit, but they haven't scored yet. Right now, San Antonio attacking Seattle.
Sonics have just got to settle down, play the same game they played in that first half, and get some of that magic back. Jack will get the shot off and makes it. That'll quiet the crowd a little bit.
Big shot.
61-51. Sonics still by 10.
Gus really giving Johnny Moore a lot of room.
Gervin, light. Jack gets it on the air ball. Must have been partially tipped, and the Sonics go the other way. Great pass to Hanslick.
That's 4 straight points for Seattle, and that will definitely quiet things down as they go back out by 12.
Moore signals number 3 as he comes across the timeline. And maybe that's Gervin's number. We'll wait and see. Muscles in on Hanslick, takes a 4-footer and gets it. Incredible angles the man shoots from. It just, if he has to shoot it just over the lip, he gets it there. If he's got a long one, he's got to shoot it high, he gets it there.
Billy's not being anxious and foul him, and that's a wise thing because he's making George work for those points anyway.
Wally behind the back, lets fly, in and out. San Antonio has it back. 63-53 Sonics. Moore trips, falls down. They call it traveling. Just simply lost the ball out of bounds. What happened? And he looks over at Stan Albeck and he says, Stan, do you see what happened down there? Just so you don't write that on my contract next year.
Right now, Seattle giving Johnny Moore all sorts of latitude to do whatever he wants offensively, and Johnny hasn't responded with the kind of game I'm sure Albeck wants.
Wally to the hoop, tried to go up, never got there, gets the ball back. Talani, 13-footer, no. Gervin with a rebound. Still 10-point Sonic lead. 7:56 to go, third quarter. James Donaldson will check in. Oberdink. Lonnie with a great block of that Oberdink shot. Gervin double team. Gus almost got there. Moore to the hoop. No bucket.
Offense. Right now.
Offensive foul. Moore's making mistakes.
Moore.
Johnny Moore trying to do a little more at this second than he's capable of.
That's right. He should just get it to the right people and back off. But Seattle is really giving him, they're giving him a lot of rope.
Oh, what a pass. Gus saw Jack break for the hoop, fired it at him. He gets the bucket and gets fouled. Beautiful play as George Johnson catches foul number 3.
Well, that's set up by those previous two-man games where Gus goes off his pick. Jack just breaks the screen early, goes right up the gut. How many times have we seen him do that this year?
And despite the tremendous start, Jack can put the Sonics back up by 13. And he did. That's a big three-point end to the court play. Following tonight's game, stay tuned as PM Magazine spends a day with the University of Washington Husky crew. You'll discover what kind of a person gets up before dawn to row a boat 15 miles. PM Magazine following the game here on Cairo TV.
Other people doing it now. San Antonio going to George, but Billy and getting a lot of help from Gus, and now they're having to go to other people, and that's a good sign for Seattle's sake, even though Oberding knocked that jumper in.
Jack. Gervin hangs on to it to Moore.
See how he's playing way off. Johnny can do just about what he wants.
Gervin, they steal it away, gets it back, shoots and missed it. Gonna get another try, lays it in. 66-57, Sonic lead at 9.
That's good work on Hanslick's part. George very lucky, and George always on the spot.
6:18 to go, third quarter. Gus, 20-footer, won't go. Tip to Donaldson, but a foul is called. It's going to be holding on Seattle on Wally Walker.
That's 4 on Wally.
One of the Bruce brothers standing up, and that's Stan Albeck.
Fred Brown checks in for Hanslick. That's a deep one. Seattle doing some standing there, and that's really the only option Gus had as the shot clock was winding down.
66-57. Sonics, remember, led by 21. No good. Great rebound by Jackie. Got hammered. Gervin saves it. No basket. Charging. No basket. Charging foul on Gervin. And Jake O'Donnell is watching Stan Albeck, just staring at Albeck and telling him to sit down and be quiet. Look at that. Staring the length of the floor. Albeck had his hands on his head, and O'Donnell wouldn't even signal who the foul was on until Albeck turned around and looked at him. He said, "You sit down and be quiet, and I'll do the refereeing." 66-57. It still stands. Gus trying to go to the hoop. To Jack, luckily. No bucket. Spurs get it back. They got 3 on 2. Jack with a nice rebound.
Oh boy, is it picking up right now. Jack Sikma's flailing those elbows, but he's got to keep the players off him.
Well, he got socked on the side of the face, and he was telling John Bannock and Jake O'Donnell about it.
Well, it's happening at both ends.
Brown, oh, what a hoop for Fred, an 8-footer.
He has yet to miss. He's 6 for 6, 12 points.
Donaldson, Sickman, Lonnie, the true Winnebago wall across the front. Brown doing a little acting on this side, as he's got the responsibility of 44, Gervin. Speaking of George, James Donaldson got a piece of that basketball.
Yes, he did.
Fred wanted that one. He thought he had it. Here's the lead pass to Gervin. They let him be back. Dangerous man to leave alone down court.
Well, George never came down on defense, and that's why Fred Brown had the layup opportunity. So it wasn't really a Seattle breakdown, just the fact that Gervin never made it back on defense.
4:20 to go. Pretty quiet officiating quarter. Just as I say that, Bannock calls it, and we got a defensive foul against San Antonio.
It's on Mitchell.
His third. And he's complaining that Lonnie was tugging on him. What's he supposed to do? And now he and Lonnie smile at each other. One of the few smiles exchanged in this series between players. 4:13 to go on the quarter. Sunday, 12:30 on your Channel 7 screen. CBS will show you Game 4. Not only don't we know what the television will be for Game 5, we don't even know what day it's going to be played. Jack, 12-footer, no. Oberding wrestles with his own man to get the basketball. Sonic lead at 9. Oberding's been quiet offensively. Lonnie, soft rebound to Gus.
Well, Seattle not running it up the court after defensive rebound, so they're settling down into half-court offense, and they've got to pick it up a little bit if they're going to keep that high percentage up.
Brown, they leave him alone. They give him that minute of air. 7 straight buckets for Fred Brown. He's hot, and timeout is called. 3:23 remaining in this third quarter. As you see Lenny talking to Fred, and Fred listening to Lenny, but makes a move. Now look at Fred and Gus chatting it over on the left of the screen.
They're trying to help Fred out defensively, as Fred has got lost in a couple of screens there, and Lenny and Gus are just offering some help, and Gus is trying to say, hey, I'm going to help you. I'm going to talk to you. So Fred, hey, no problem. I get that from you.
Yeah.
You know, that idea of, well, we know what they're talking about.
One of the crowd at San Antonio tonight. One that you can leave the camera on for as long as you like, gents. I could care less. Just realizing she's on the screen. 3:23 to go. That is Dave Corzine's wife. There you see the scoreboard that is partially inoperative. as the visitors and the home numbers just will not light up. So reviewing the game Sunday on Channel 7, 12:30 Seattle time. Tuesday or Wednesday, we have no idea, but it will be at the Kingdome. And tickets are available Saturday and Sunday. The ticket offices will be open all day from 9 to 5. And if you want to call and charge your tickets, you can do that at 628-8430.
Seattle shooting 50%. They were at 57-58 at halftime. 31 of 62 for the game. San Antonio 24 of 62, 38, though they've dropped from 40% at halftime that they were shooting. They've upped it. They were 35% at halftime. They've upped it a little bit here in this third period. A good thing from the Sonics standpoint is the fact that they've withstood that 9-point rush of San Antonio out of the gate in the third period. They've kind of stabilized themselves, or now are like pulling together again as they were in that second period.
San Antonio came out of the box being down at halftime 59-42 and got the first 9, and the Sonics did not wilt. This is Moore to Gervin. Fred Brown's got that responsibility, but see Gus double team and help him out. But then Johnny Moore hits from 18 feet away and make it 70-61.
Seattle's been giving Moore that shot. He's been choosing to go to the basket, committing some turnovers, and now I guess he's going to knock that one in.
Jack, a 20-footer. No. I'm not tremendously happy with the shot selection. I don't know that Lenny would be either. Mitchell from 7 feet away makes it.
Now they have another chance to withstand the thrust of San Antonio's. They've scored 4 straight points and are now down by 7.
You can't let the Spurs out of the bag once you've got them in there, because they have scoring, and the Sonics throw it away. Gus says, I know it, Fred. They talk it over. Bill Hanslick will be back in a moment. I think it'll be for Fred Brown. Now Brown may get called for a foul. The basket goes, will not count. Downtown gets called for the blocking foul. That'll be only the 3rd team foul on the Sonics in this quarter with 2:13 to go. John Johnson, Lonnie, and James Donaldson up front with Hanslick and Brown at guards as Gus gets a rest. Oberding on Lonnie. Bucket doesn't go, luckily, because Lonnie fouled Oberding.
They're calling the foul on the shot attempt on the wrist. A lot of banging going on prior to that, and I thought that's where the foul occurred.
Jake O'Donnell and John Vanek, the referees, with Ed Middleton, the alternate.
Well, Seattle's in desperate need of another basket.
70-65. That Sonic 21-point lead has dissipated to 5. Lonnie picks it up. They're in a heap, and a tripping foul has got to be called on Johnny Moore.
Boy, Johnny Moore sure playing a spirited second half as he's diving all over the place for loose balls. Jack doesn't take much of a rest as he checks back in.
Sikma will be in for Lonnie. Lonnie has 4 personal fouls, and so far in the game has scored only 4 points. Not a Lonnie Shelton scrapbook night at all. Donaldson working on Johnson. A 4-footer won't go. He's light. Mitchell around Jack, and Jack put his hands on him.
Mitchell a little bit too quick for Jack Sikma out on the floor, and that time Mike had a step and Jack could do nothing but grab a hold of him, and Mike will go to the line by virtue of the fact that Seattle has 5 personals.
And that's the 3rd personal on Jack Sikma. Mitchell with a chance to put the Spurs back to within 3. 1:35 to go, 3rd quarter.
Well, they made up that 19 or 17-point deficit. Just about wiped it out here in this 3rd period.
Mitchell has 13, looking for 14.
how quickly the fortunes of basketball games turn around.
Jack at the end of the backboard that time. Moore to Gervin. They double team him, so Moore will shoot. Jack with the hoop, or the rebound. JJ down 1 on 3. He'll have to hold it up. Fred Brown has it. To Hanslick, to Jack. Donaldson trying for the slam dunk, gets fouled on the way to the hoop. Mitchell catch it. Who got it? Foul is on
Johnson. I believe that's his 4th foul.
Here's the replay.
Very little doubt where James was going with this one.
Look at that rim sag. And James will have to get the 2 on foul shots.
2 very tough foul shots. It will test his mettle and his ability. Late in the season, he was shooting 75% in the last 28 games from the floor, from the free throw line.
He missed it. If we can get a shot of the crowd, there they are, just as I say it. The folks in the truck anticipate it. The crowd in back of the bucket is just unbelievable if we can see them. Look at that. That's what he's shooting into. And he gets 1 out of 2.
That quiets him down, though he almost had that first one too.
57 seconds to go. Third quarter, 71-67 Sonics. They led, remember, by 21 in the second quarter. Air ball. Hanslick had it come to him, couldn't believe it. Wants to wait. Gets floor space, looks around, gives to JJ on the right point. Hanslick off balance, lost the ball off his fingertips. And you just cannot take it down and not get a shot.
They've done that several times this period.
Now 24 seconds, so San Antonio will probably wait and take the last shot of the quarter.
Johnny Moore will drive off a George Johnson screen and try to hit the Iceman.
Precisely called. The Iceman shoots. It goes in. The bucket counts, and he gets fouled. The foul is on Fred Brown, and Fred is lacking a little on defense, and he's fouling a little too much on that play. And Gervin will go to the line with 5 seconds to go in the quarter and a chance to bring San Antonio back to within 1. It is 71-70, and the Supersonics have only a 12-point quarter. It will not go, and it's 0-0 on the clock. So at the end of 3, they're raising the roof again at San Antonio as the Supersonics have now been caught. And at the end of 3, the Sonics 71, the Spurs 70.
You know.
That's one of the supposed Blues brothers doing a little dance with his partner on the other side of the floor to encourage the crowd. And of course, the front wall, there's the baseline bums, and the front wall is known as the Bruise brothers here. So they're having some fun as their team's down by only 1. The Sonic master margin of 21 has almost been totally erased. Sonics have to get busy and work hard. Jack missed it, 2 feet short of an air ball. Moore all alone. The Spurs lead for the first time since the early moments of this game.
And looking at the track record, when Seattle has had big leads, lost them in the second half, they have pushed back to win some big games on the road in Milwaukee, also in Boston and in Los Angeles, but this is playoff time.
Foul on Johnny Moore. 0-0, picks up his 4th personal foul in the early moments of this 4th quarter. Sonics really have to have some composure here against this crowd and against this team. Gus to the hoop. Tip, tip. He gets it back. Under to J.J. Beautiful bucket. Great pass from Gus Williams.
Nice pass. Awfully difficult shot by Johnny. He exhorts his teammates. James Donaldson.
Johnson with 4 points. Gus with 12. Brown with 14. Jack with 16. Sonics get it off the defensive boards. Back to Fred. Whew. Yeah, Gus almost a little too cute again. JJ's not been hot from outside, but he shot there when he was charging, I believe. Is that the call?
Yeah, Johnny, I think, dipped into Mike Mitchell a little bit, and that's a good call.
John's not in there to be offense. John is in there to be defense, and Lenny may have seen enough of that. And I think he's going to have Lonnie into the ball game. JJ has played some great defense, but it's not really his shot that the Sonics are looking for. Gervin in the middle against Jack, and Fred Brown's going to be called with another foul, trying to guard George Gervin.
They do more isolation work with George Gervin on Fred Brown than they do when Billy Hanslick is in the game. Billy a little bit stiffer with taking that position away than Fred, and of course George has such a size difference and height advantage over Fred Brown.
JJ is out for Lonnie as we called, and Gervin will go to the line. And Jake O'Donnell says, John Johnson, zip your mouth. Did you see that? Jake has really got rabbit ears tonight. He's listening to everything, and he looks at JJ and goes, zipper your mouth or I'm going to call one on you. So the officials are hot, the crowd's hot, and San Antonio's hot. They lead by 1, 74-73. Jack, got the shot off. It looked like it was going to go. He got fouled, and the foul is called against Oberding. Mark picks up personal foul number 2.
It's really amazing that he has 2, just like it's amazing that Hanslick has but 2, because they're both guarding. Oberding's guarding Jack. Sikmu's handling the ball a lot, and George Gervin's handling the ball a lot. I guess they both must be playing good defense.
Hanslick back into the ball game for somebody. No, it's going to wait now. Lenny going to try and give Jack a rest. Is that it? Jack quiets that crowd. Now Hanslick into the game. Now the Sonics have 6 men on the court. Somebody's got to go away, and it's going to be Fred Brown. Jack under pressure. That crowd gets a pair, and the Sonics lead again by 1. This is going to be a honey of a 4th quarter. This is a crucial game. This key 3rd game. Mitchell. Gus pushed him.
Yeah, Gus thought that Mike was going to continue on that move to the baseline. Mike pulled up short, and that was called a rear-end collision.
2 team fouls on each squad. That's the first personal foul on Mr. Clean, as I call him, Gus Williams. He just doesn't commit many. He knows what to do and what not to do, and there he gets caught with his first. Gervin on Hanslick. Mitchell goes under the hoop and lays it up, and now San Antonio by 1. 9:42 to go. LA leads Phoenix 2 games to none. The Wizard goaltending's got to be called. Gus Williams along the baseline laid it up, and San Antonio with goaltending, and the Sonics go ahead by 1.
Well, whoever comes out of this 1 up, 1 down, 1 up, 1 down, I think will win the ball game. Seattle's still very, very much in it.
Oberding across the middle, falls away from about an 8-footer. Donaldson hustles to get it to Gus. Lonnie needs one, gets it right there.
Big one on the break. Gus Williams getting it very smartly up court to Lonnie Shelton. And that's a difficult shot to stop 260 pounds on a dime and feather that shot in.
So 9:05 to go in the regulation. We have time.
And 38.
All right, here comes San Antonio. They're down by 3. Just under 9 minutes now. Corzine back in with Mitchell and Moore. Gervin and Gene Banks. Sonic starting lineup in there. You hear John Bannock yelling, it's the white ball, went out off the green.
Seattle shot by 25% in the third period, 5 for 20.
4 seconds on the shot clock. Gervin fires. You believe that shot went in? Holy Toledo. 79-78. He had no chance and made it. There's one for Gus, the other end.
Answers very quickly, and that sort of takes the rub off that great shot of Gervin's.
81-78.
Oh,
now the Sonics have held San Antonio under 100 points twice and lost one of those. Gus with it on the move. He's got Hanslick on the wing. Well,
difficult shot.
Very difficult. Corzine.
Oh, Wally had good chance to establish position, especially when you're 6'11", like Dave Corzine. That might have been a wise play to do.
Great pass, Jack to Lonnie, and why? Because Mike Mitchell got hit, and he was hurt. Mitchell got kneed and was standing there really attending to himself with a deep breath, and that left Lonnie all alone. Jack spotted it and hit him that quickly. Lonnie Shelton now with 8 points. Wally's going to get the foul on Mitchell as Mitchell went for the rebound and Wally went for the hand.
Both players talking there as that shot was taken up. And I don't think Wally necessarily had his mind on blocking out. They were discussing that last contact down at the other end.
5th personal foul on Wally Walker. Great pass, Gervin to Corzine. He gets the bucket and gets fouled by Lonnie. The basket will count, and Corzine will go to the line with a chance to tie it up at 83.
Well, this is what George Gervin will do for you. He draws a crowd, and Lonnie trying to get over in time. A little bit late.
Great pass by Gervin.
Oh.
Corzine can tie it up, and he did. 83, 7:17 to go. Batted out of bounds by Corzine. Sonic ball.
Angle just isn't there on that pass, although the ball is being reversed from the top back down to the side. Gus might take a dribble and improve that passing lane.
Hanslick to Gus, 20-footer. Another shot that probably shouldn't have been taken with 20 seconds on the shot clock.
That's a deep one.
My, tough shot to take there. In and out. Corzine with a rebound. No. Wally trying to get to it. Banks. Jack Sickmas got it. They're all over him, and he gets it out to Hanslick. To Gus. Gonna have to play with it. Goes up anyway. Missed it, but gets fouled.
And that's 5 on Johnny Moore.
More unhappy, and Jake O'Donnell will not take very much lip. He best be quiet. Gus will have to go to the line to get his 2 points.
We're going to be impartial here as we see Gus Williams pick up the 5th foul on Johnny Moore. There was an awful lot of contact down here at the other end that wasn't called. So that might well have just not called anything there.
Donaldson will come in after the first foul shot by Gus. A whiz hits the first one to put the Sonics up by 1, 84-83, and Lonnie's going to come back to the bench.
Remember now, Lonnie has 4 fouls, so when Seattle is on defense, Lenny taking advantage of getting Donaldson in and Lonnie out.
Oberding will come back in moments, probably for Corzine. Mike Bratz is in the game to bring it down. Banks, Gervin, over Donaldson. He got a piece of it. James got a little piece of it, and Wally wrestles it out of the crowd to Bill Hanslick. They got a 3-on-2. Gus trying to come across to Donaldson, batted away by San Antonio.
Well, that's a good idea. He was 2-on-1, but Michael Bratz is a pretty heady player, and he played the passing lane very nicely. He didn't commit too much on Gus Williams.
6:20 to go in this regulation time. Sonics, if you're just joining us, led at one time by 21. They had one of the best first halves of the year. But San Antonio has played well of late, and they get this rebound. Gus has taken some very difficult shots. He's trying to do it all himself right now. And he should be looking for a little help when he's not hot.
Well, with a lot of time on the shot clock, you're very correct in that assumption, Wayne. I agree with you.
Gus, right side, going to try it again. Air ball. Never even got it to the hoop. Lenny has got to be a little upset at Gus. He loves him, but at the moment, Gus is trying some tough shots just to get one to go. 4 times down. They haven't been able to get one in. Corzine, 19-footer.
Corzine, a big factor here in this third or fourth period.
Sonics are going to call a timeout. So, 5:32 to go. And we're going to take a break from San Antonio. It's all tied up at 85. And that's got to be the first personal foul, but the 4th team foul. Gus is going to go to the line. That should put him over the bonus, doesn't it?
Well, that's
he was shooting anyway, but he's only 4 team fouls on each team. Michael
Bratz gave Gus a pretty good shot to the hip.
They did call it on Bratz, and I distinctly saw Jake go 2-0. He held up 2-0, but they do call it on Mike Bratz. You're right. Gus makes the first one. Sonics lead by 1. Now, still 1. San Antonio has 3 timeouts left. The Sonics have 2. Gervin into Hanslick. No call. It was over the limit. Oh! Lenny figures it was goaltending offensively. Jake O'Donnell turns around and says, nope, it was a good play.
I'm going to have to side with Jake O'Donnell. I thought that ball was staying in, and I don't think that Corzine touched it.
1 point, San Antonio advantage. 8 seconds shot clock. Wally gets fouled by Banks. The ball goes, no basket.
And now Wally will go to the line as San Antonio is over the limit.
67% shooter in the regular season. Wally tonight having a little better game than he has in the last few. He's got 4 points. But on the other side of the ledger, he's got 5 personal fouls.
Well, he buries that.
To tie it up at 87.
Now he's got to guard Mike Mitchell. And that 2-pronged attack of Gervin and Mitchell looms very large with 4:40 to go in the game.
Missed it.
Seattle now 2 out of their last 4 from the line.
.430 remaining. Oberding. Boy, there's a big hoop. 18 for Mark Oberding.
He's come up with some nice jumpers, and they've been deep.
Gus clear across the hoop. Donaldson gets the rebound. James gets fouled. And the entire San Antonio bench says they don't like it.
The reason he doesn't get many over-the-back calls, and Dave Corzine is trying to call for one there, is that James is 7'2.5", 7'3", and so he just reaches over the top of some of these smaller players. Watch right here. Right there, there was no contact there on the rebound.
Gervin gets the foul call, the man that took it away, and James with a big chance to tie it up. You ought to see the background he's shooting into. Just unbelievable. Great concentration.
Oh, the progress that young man has made.
Great concentration.
Job's not done. He needs this one.
4:03 remaining. Sonics would love to get away with this one. Then the worst they could do is come home tied up.
Now they're back to the full court pressure.
Boy, there's two great foul shots by James Donaldson. This is Bratz. This is Mitchell.
Boy, they're not hesitating. What confidence these Spurs have as Oberding and Mitchell have buried some very difficult 18, 20 footers.
91-89. The Sonics can ill afford to give it up on either end of the floor. They've got to put a bucket in to match San Antonio each time. Gus to JJ. To Gus on the move. Hit it behind him. Doesn't get the hoop. Gets creamed and hit right in the head. Gus got hit very hard, and he's going to sit down on the table for a minute.
Well, that was a difficult shot, the first one. Very quickly, he jumped in front of Corzine and got the rebound and just threw it back up.
Watch the replay. You'll see Gus get smacked. I think we have it from the original shot. All right, no replay. Hanslick, JJ, Gus, Lonnie, and Jack as James goes to the bench. And Gus, with a pair of foul shots, can again tie it up for the Sonics at 91. Well, got one of them.
Seattle and San Antonio this half have gone toe-to-toe and nose-to-nose.
Gus with 20 points.
Two heavyweights battling it out in the corner.
Boy, there are 4 solid foul shots in a row to bring the Sonics back to another tie. 91 all. Now with a little steal, they could put the handle on San Antonio. Mitchell all alone. Jack was playing both of them.
Well, that's what you give up on that full court press.
3 shots in a row by San Antonio have found the bottom of the net, and they lead again by 2.
San Antonio is certainly finding the answer to that full court press.
Gus wanted to go down the lane to Jack, doesn't do it. Nobody moving for the Sonics. Jack, 19-footer. It is no good. Mitchell gets the rebound and a foul on the Supersonics. Lonnie got him. Uh-oh. Just what couldn't happen happened. Lonnie has picked up his 6th personal foul. I think he's out of there. He is. It's over for Lonnie Sheldon, who finishes with 6 points. So Donaldson is in. Jake O'Donnell just wants to check and make sure that 6 fouls on Lonnie.
Well, Seattle didn't get much of a offensive movement that last time as they were trying to get the ball into Sigma. Spent a little too much time at the top of the key, and as a result ended up with a hurried 20-21 footer by Jack.
All right, Fred Brown comes back in. Donaldson comes down, and Mitchell's at the line. If he makes a pair, the Spurs are up by 4, and the Sonics will have less than 3 minutes to get them back. Mitchell now with 21, looking for his 22nd point. And the Sonics are down by 4. 2:52 remaining. They've got to move. They've got to hustle. They've got to show that spark. JJ. Gus. 12-footer. He's got it.
Huh. Hoo-wee.
93-95. Sonics need a little miscue out of the folks from San Antonio.
Jack Sigma came over and showed himself. George Gervin took his eyes off the ball for 1 moment, and that was enough to knock it out of bounds off George.
Now 2:18 left. Sonics get the turnover they desperately needed. Sigma on Oberding. Can he front, shoot, and hit? He did 2 out of the 3. Gets it back. Going to have another try off the glass. It won't go. Donaldson tips it in. I don't think the bucket counts. Jack got fouled. Foul is called on Mike Bratz. And it must have occurred right just before the foul, or before the shot. Bratz got him. So Jack Sigma for the third time in a row, will have 2 foul shots to tie it up. Donaldson had 2 and made them. Gus had 2 and made them. Now Jack has 2. Body English. He leaned all the way to the hoop with that one.
19 points for Jack. Well, he's certainly come alive as a free throw shooter. He's shooting 86% on the year. He's continued that fine shooting here in the playoffs.
Got it. Sensational foul shooting by the Sonics when they need it. 6 straight foul shots, and this encounter is all tied up. We have a timeout. You see Johnny Moore. You see the San Antonio Spurs huddle. And Bill Hanslick will come back in on defense as the Supersonics come out all tied up. Sensational foul shooting has kept them in there. Sensational floor shooting at the last few minutes has kept San Antonio there.
Well, we needn't talk about who they might go to. Mike Mitchell and George Gervin, a couple of prime candidates for the game now. Seattle cooled off quite considerably this half. They're now shooting 45% for the game. And hoo-wee, here we go. Michael Bratz.
1:57 left. Mitchell 19 feet away. Doesn't get it. The tip in by Dave Corzine.
He'll afford to give up offensive rebounds like that.
22nd timeout, Seattle. 22nd timeout for Seattle. I believe, if we're correct, each team has 2 timeouts remaining. We have now selected our People's Bank player of the game, and tonight it will be Jack Sikma. So congratulations to Jack Sikma for being our People's Bank player of the game. And in Jack's name, the Roosevelt branch of People's Bank is donating 100 tickets to the Sonics' first home game next season to Blanchette High School. So congratulations to Jack Sikma and the Blanchette High School for being the People's Bank Sonic player of the game.
Head coach Steve Segadelli, a big Sonic fan there at Blanchette High School.
97-95, San Antonio, 1:47 to go. The 5th consecutive time the Sonics have come down the floor behind by 2. Fred Brown, can he get it there? No. And Mitchell gives to Bratz to come the other way. 1:33 left. Sonics need a steal or to wipe out any scoring chance here by San Antonio. They need a great defensive end this time. Gervin over Jack. Missed it.
No basket.
Goaltending, no basket. Goaltending, no basket. The Sonics get the other way again, down by 2.
George Gervin very rarely misses this. And watch Mark Olberding up, and the ball hadn't come off yet. A little bit too anxious.
Laying on the rip. Downtown. He's going to take it. 14-footer. Missed it. Again, Corzine with a rebound. Dependable. Fred Brown misses twice in the clutch. 58 seconds to go. Can the Sonics stop them one more time from scoring? They have to. Mitchell. Gus steals it. Gus Williams with fast hands steals it. He's got a 2-on-1 with Fred Brown. He lays it up. It will not go. Oh! No call! Oh my goodness! Mitchell shoots. It doesn't go. Donaldson to JJ. 32 seconds. Gus again. Lays it in. It's tied up. Holy cow! What developments? 22nd. No, full timeout for San Antonio. Oh, can we see any of that back? Let's take a look at any part of that we have. My, oh, my, oh, my.
Pinch me when it's over.
Gus comes down, goes up for it, doesn't get it, appears to get fouled. Lenny jumped 4 feet off the ground, complaining. They go to the other end. Gus, with his quick hands, tips it to Donaldson. He gives it to Gus. He goes down and takes an impossible shot and makes it.
Well, there's 28 seconds on the game clock, 24, of course, in the shot clock, so that means there's a 4-second difference. I would imagine San Antonio, though Mike Mitchell missed his last one, they're going to try to get it in his hands or George Gervin, and they'll shoot with 5 or 6 or 7 seconds left, so there'll be a full 7 or 8 or 9 seconds left in the game clock when San Antonio shoots. That means Seattle must block out and get the defensive rebound. And if San Antonio does score, of course, then they have the a good opportunity then at the last shot to tie it up. But those things merely speculative, as this game has been as close as we felt it would be, even though there was a 17-point lead for Seattle at halftime. San Antonio just too good of a team to lay down and die in this time, and they certainly didn't do that, as Seattle didn't do in the first game Tuesday night.
The Sonics have 6 or 7 times in the last few minutes had every opportunity to give up, or to go down by 4 or down by 6. Every time they've come back to get that tying bucket.
Well, they've been very strong here, and no matter what happens tonight, they have to, well, I won't say that. I'll finish that thought when the game's over.
There you see it.
That's the game clock.
97, 27 seconds left in the game, now 23.
Billy Hamslick has
got to play super defense, and they cannot foul. Bratz running the club. Shot clock at 8. Gus takes it away from Oberdink. Oberdink on the floor. Bratz, 3 seconds. He shoots. He made it. Timeout, Seattle. Oh, impossible. Mike Bratz never even had control of the ball, and he laid it in. Shades of last Tuesday night.
Yeah. Gus makes an outstanding play here. Leaves his man to go over to Oberding to double team once Mark gets the ball. Watch it here. And he's got it, and if he gets it, he's going one-on-one the other way. Look at Mark Oberding, or Michael Bratz, suffering from the field in the first 2 games at about 25%. Knocks in an 18-footer. Okay, say that again.
There's the crowd. They love it. They can't believe that their guys keep bailing it out. Gus tips it away. Oberdink happens to fall on it with his back to Gus, or Gus ties him up at the worst. He shovels it to Bratz. He goes in with, 2 seconds on the shot clock and sinks it. Now, the Sonics have 5 seconds, and they've given away their secret play, the inbounds pass to Donaldson that they fluffed on Tuesday night.
Well, the exact same position they were in the other night. Well, Lenny's had his say.
Here they come, 5 seconds to go. Will they try to lob it to James? Will they go to Gus? What will they do? We'll know in moments as Jake O'Donnell hands JJ the ball. Sonics down by 2. Here it comes to Gus. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. He shoots it. Get in there. It will not go, and the Sonics lose it. It's all over at San Antonio. The Sonics lose another 2-pointer, 99-97, to lose to the San Antonio Spurs. The Sonics, dejected, go to the locker room, and we'll be back with a final comment right after this. Over George Gervin with 36 leads San Antonio. Gus Williams with 25 leads the Sonics. San Antonio is up 2-1. They win this one tonight, 99-97. For Jim Marsh, I'm Wayne Cody. CBS shows you the Sunday game at 12:30 on Channel 7. Tonight, Sonics playoff action on Cairo Television has been brought to you by People's Bank. People first and bankers second. And by Olympia Beer, featuring pure artesian brewing water, brought to you by the Artesians. Seattle and San Antonio, Game 4, airtime Sunday, 12:30 on CBS and Channel 7. This has been another Cairo Television sports presentation.